Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Among Stouts. If you're new here, my name is Samantha and I'm a homeschooling mom to 5 kiddos. I am not in my car today, thank goodness. My son actually has the week off from going to cross country and no meet this week. So I am here at home more this week than I have been in a while. So I had time to go ahead and make this video here at the house, which I'm really excited about. And this is also kind of the first look of our new homeschool room, because since moving and getting it set up, I have not shared our homeschool space with you guys yet. This is our bookshelves, and I hope to get an updated homeschool room tour film for you guys at some point. Maybe I'll have the time to do that after this video, depending on how my baby is feeling. So in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about some reading, like one book style reading programs. So I have 2 of them here. One of them is the one that I initially bought, and then after I got it and I talked to some friends about it, because I've never used any of these programs before. My older 2 kids were taught how to read in public school, and then my daughter, who is the 3rd oldest, she went halfway through public school, and we used The Good and the Beautiful for her, and just wanted to do something different from my youngest, since I'm starting from scratch with him, and he's my very first kid to start from scratch with. So I heard and I've seen lots about teach your child to read in 100 easy lessons. So this was the first book that I picked up. I've heard really great things about this from people personally in my life, but I've also seen and read lots of good things about this online. But then I've also seen and heard some drawbacks to it and some of the negatives. So I wasn't so sure about starting this book after looking through it and then having some discussions with a couple of friends of mine. And in those discussions, I was recommended another program. This originally is another one book reading program for kids for teaching reading, but since I have the revised edition, so now it's in 2 books. You can actually buy the one book version that's similar to this, of this other program, very, very inexpensively. And the only reason why I didn't buy that one was because I was on their website, on the Well Trained Mind website, and they were having a 40% off sale. So I actually got this set very inexpensively as well. So I went ahead and just picked up the revised edition. But if you want to save some money, I think for like $10 or $11 on their website, you can get the other version that they have. That's the one book. So now it comes in 2 books, and this is The Ordinary Parent's Guide to Teaching Reading. Again, a friend in my personal life recommended this program to me, used it with multiple of her own children, and so when I was having some drawbacks to the Teach Your Child to Read 100 Easy Lessons based off just what I was seeing as I flipped through it and deciding if I wanted to start that with my youngest, and then in conversations, I went ahead and decided to pick this up since I got such a good deal on it. And as you can see, they're both tabbed off. I actually haven't started this one yet. I just tabbed the first lesson, and my son and I did like lesson 1 and a few of the tasks in this book here. So this video isn't necessarily a review of either one of these, because I haven't used either of them, but I did want to get on here and show you both of these programs if you are like me and you are brand new to having to teach a kiddo to read, and you're looking at this option and maybe you haven't heard of this option yet, and you know, I wanted to give you an idea of both of them and what to expect. So if having the 2 books is not something that you're looking for and you're only wanting the one book, just remember that you can have the Ordinary Parent's Guide to Teaching Reading as a one book if you buy the edition that's not revised. So both of these programs are similar in the fact that they are just, this is the student book here for Ordinary Parent's Guide to Teaching, and then this is the parent's manual. So one of the things that is different, there's two things that you can see that are different with these programs. First being that this one has 2 books, but again, you can get it in a 1-book option. But also this book does have materials that you have to get in order to use it as written. They do want you to have flashcards or to make flashcards along the way for this program. And then it also wants you to have letter tiles and a magnetic board. So I have magnetic tiles from when my daughter did All About Reading, but I also have the app, which is super easy. But if you want low tech, you can buy the tiles. You can get them anywhere. All About Reading sells their tiles. I think you get it with their program. I'm not sure if you can buy it separately, but if you check Amazon, you can buy the tiles as well. And then you can buy a magnetic board, or actually whenever I worked in the public school, we used cookie sheets. So you can just get a cookie sheet and stick those tiles on there. And so with that being said, with this program, all you need is this book. You don't need anything else in order to use this. You get this book and you can get started right away. So that's why we've actually done some of the tasks in lesson 1 in this book, is because we didn't need anything and I wasn't quite prepared to start this. I didn't want to pull out the tiles the day that I was going to start this. I didn't feel like pulling out the tiles and and I didn't have the index cards to make for him because I gave the index cards to my oldest. So I need to get another pack of index cards so we can start it. So that is what's different. 2 books versus 1, but you can have 1, and then you do need some materials for the Ordinary Parent's Guide to Teaching Reading. So I guess the other thing that I want to do is just show you guys a little look inside of both of these books. There are so many reviews and great videos on Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. And like I said, I've only done a few tasks in lesson 1. So I'm not going to go through and tell you exactly how you're supposed to use it, but I will give you like a little flip through of some of the lessons in this, just so that you can compare it to this other option. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by getting a little look inside of the Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons really quickly. Okay, so here is the Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. It says the remarkable step-by-step program teaches your child to read in just 20 minutes a day with love, care, joy, and joy a parent and child can share. And here is where it talks all about the contents, your overview, your practice guide, what are the essentials I have to learn before I teach, teaching techniques and strategies, and so on and so forth. Okay, here is the overview. And here is the practice guide. So this is really nice. You can just get some practice under your belt of how this works and the sounds to make and when to say the sounds, when to stop the sounds, and things like that. Super helpful. And then this is also really good because it helps you with the pronunciation. So there's more practicing and really just helping you to know what you're going to be doing, what these symbols mean. And then over here, like whenever you have small letters and bigger letters and what that means. Just really teaching you all the sounds of this. And I will say this is kind of, when I started looking through this, this is what was kind of a drawback to me, is how it kind of focuses on big letters, little letters, and even some misspelling of the words. While I do know that a lot of people use this and their kids read successfully, just one of the things that concerns me is the reliance of big letters, little letters, misspelled letters, and things like that. I haven't used this program, so I just don't know like how easy it is for a kiddo to no longer need that in order to read independently. So like this here, where it has that super tiny letter. And then some of the letters are just also written differently. So it's small things like that that kind of made me a little concerned, and the reason behind why I went ahead and picked up the Ordinary Parent's Guide to Teaching Reading. But that, if you've used this before, let me know down in the comments if any of that has been a concern for your kiddos transitioning into other reading, if they have struggled with some of the way that this book teaches it. So here is really nice. It gives you directions in black, and everything that you're going to say is in red. So super easy. It tells you exactly what to do, what to say. Really nice. And so like I said, we ended here at task 5 when we did this. And so we'll just pick right back up at task 6. And I'll just flip through and show you. These are the beginning lessons. And so then I'll flip through and show you something more in the middle, and then show you about what it looks like towards the end. So like in order to say the E sound, it has the dash over the E. We're in lesson 13 here, and now they're going to start putting some of the easier words together. So see me eat, and then there's a picture here. And then it says, for all lessons, cover the picture until you're ready to begin picture comprehension. So then there's another short sentence there. And picture. Then so this is going into lesson 27. As you can see now, they are up to multiple lines of reading. So then we're into lesson 31 now, and you'll see they're adding on more. So just do a quick little flip through of the rest of this. So here we go. As you can see here, they're starting to have smaller words, more words on a line. And then if you see, this is like a blended sound. So they kind of connect them together. So these are like just small things that I see that I'm like, how hard is it going to be for my kiddo to read without these hints, I guess, for him to know what to do. So that's one thing that to consider when using this program, is whether or not your kid will be able to move on and transition out of this easily, or if they may get hung up on those sorts of things. We don't know until we try. So I'm hanging on to it, and I'm going to use it. So there's a much longer passage there. And one of the things that you'll notice between this program and the other is with the Ordinary Parent's Guide to Teaching Reading, it is published by the Well-Trained Mind, which is a classical education model. So they're just very, very different in the way that the approach that they take. And if you're new to my channel, I am a classical method homeschool mom. So most things that we do follow the classical model. So that is appealing to me with the other. But who knows? This might work, and it might work great. I have it just in case. We'll see what ends up sticking. So let's just finish out flipping through this. And so this is what they're going to be reading by the end of this book. It's a pretty nice long chunk of passage, and none of the hints or things are there anymore. So, I mean, kids get through it just fine, it seems. I just still wonder like how hard that is. And this is the final lesson, lesson 100. So that is Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. So now let's look at the Ordinary Parent's Guide to Teaching Reading. This, like I mentioned, is the student book, and then I will show you the inside of the teacher's book. Start with the first lesson. It's going to start off with the vowels. So the very first one is A, and it does it with all of the different ways that they will see an A printed. and then it goes into E over here. And we have E, I, oh my gosh, come on, focus. I is there. We'll have O, and then there's U. Then it goes into other letters. So there's B, C, and it's teaching them the sounds in this, more so than letter recognition. It's sound recognition. So I'll flip through these first few lessons as it goes through those. And then starting in lesson 27 is where they're going to start at, am, and add. And then it moves on to adding now an extra letter in front. So there's those blends. And then here's lesson 29. So as you can see, it's a much different approach to teaching reading than Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. Both, I believe, could be effective, just depending on your teaching style, but also your kiddo's learning style. And so I will just flip through this really quickly to give you an idea of what these lessons look like. So this is going to be, this is clearly like a multi-year approach, as you see like the progression of just from going from the letter sounds to like in lesson 61 now, photograph, physical, dolphin, like these are just much harder words to put together. And then here are some reading passages that they'll get to. And let's see. And as you can see, even the text here gets a little smaller as it gets moving along. And so the other book ends at lesson 100. Here's lesson 100 here, and as you can see, it still continues on. So there are quite a bit more lessons in this book, and I'll just keep flipping through to show you. Here's what they're reading by the final lesson if you end up going through this entire book. Which from the looks of it, they will be very great readers if you do. I love how it has these broken down so that they know that they can sound words out whenever the words are bigger. And I believe 230 is, yep. And there's one more. 230 is the final big lesson in this book. And then the final one is just this one word here, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So that's really fun for the kids to end on that note. And so that is the student book for the Ordinary Parent's Guide to Teaching Reading. And let me go ahead and show you the teacher's guide. What they did was they basically separated out the instruction for you. So in the original, the student shares the book with the parent. So it's a lot like Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. But now that they have separated out, all of the instructions for the parent are here in this book. And then the students have their own books so that they can feel like they have more independence with their reading, and they're reading out of their own book versus having to share a book with you. So let's go ahead and start with lesson 1 here, and I'll show you what I mean by there's more things that you will need. Right here for these lessons, everything that you will need. And like I mentioned, a magnetic board with alphabet tiles, index cards, or you can purchase flashcards on your own, scissors, pens, pencils, drawing supplies, paper clips, yarn, magnets, and a dowel. And then it says a piece of paper index card for hiding text in the student book to help your student focus. So that's just if once you get to those higher reading or multiple words in a page, so you can hide that. So it tells you how to use these lessons, what the students do, and then using your student book. And then you get to the first lesson over here. So it's the vowel A. It tells you everything you're going to need for this specific lesson. It breaks it down for you on what you're going to be teaching. And then right here where it says instructor, this is what you are going to say to your kiddo. And then there's some hints here on what you can do, or some teaching tips. And then again, what the instructor says, what you do, and then what they're seeing in their book. So instructor, what you do, what they're seeing in their book, and so on and so forth. And so then here is where there's more instruction of what you're going to say together. So you'll be saying the sound together with them multiple times. If you're not familiar with the classical model of teaching, it is very heavy on repetition. And so repeating things multiple times and then doing it until your kid has mastered it before you move on is huge in the classical model. And that's kind of how this goes. So, and here for your follow-up, it just gives you some extra ideas of what you can do to help your kiddos master that sound. And then it goes on to the next lesson. So let's go to here. They're lesson 14. They're doing a consonant, which is L. There's review. So together 3 times, again with a repetition, you're going to say all of these sounds that you've done before. You'll move on into the new sound that you're learning. And then it just completely lays it out for you, everything you need to say and do. It gives you complete, full directions so that you know everything to do. And then there's that, and it tells you how many times they should repeat this throughout the day, which is this poem up there. And as you saw in Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, it started off with sound, and that's not until lesson 15 here. So they are starting off with the vowels and then going into consonants. And I think going in alphabetical order. So there's that. Let's see, let's move into some more words after the consonants. Okay, so here is where they're adding in sight words, so sight word the, and also doing the short A vowel sound. So this is where they're doing am, an, rat, fat, pat, mat, all of those, and then that's a review. So then here's the new teaching, which is the an, more over there. So it's just, it lays out everything completely for you. This is a really big book, so I don't think that I'm going to flip through the entire thing, but I'll give you a little bit more. I'll flip through a few more lessons just so you guys get an idea of what to expect from this book as well. So just a much different approach to teaching even the long E sound. There's no symbols or big letters, small letters, or anything like that. It's really focusing on just teaching the sound, repetition, and mastery in this program. Okay, so that is quite a few of the lessons in this book. So let's go ahead and close this one up as well. I hope you guys got a pretty good idea of what to expect in that teacher's manual. Okay guys, so I hope that you were able to get a pretty good idea of what to expect out of both of these one book reading programs. Like I mentioned, this is one book. This is 2. You have a student book and a teacher book, but if you buy the other version of it, not the revised edition, it will come in one book, and so it'll be a lot similar to this. But if you have a kiddo that you are getting ready to teach reading to, and one of these is on your radar, or maybe you've been considering one of these, or maybe both of them, and you've wanted to see kind of a side by side of maybe which one would be a better fit for you or for your kiddo. And I hope that it was also beneficial in giving you an idea of what to expect in both of these, to help you make a decision, or to better help you make a decision. So yeah. That is all that I have for you guys in today's video. Again, I am really excited about, honestly, both of these. I originally got this one to use, and it's the one that I was kind of like just going to do. And then after further research and talking with people and things like that, this one was put on my radar. I didn't even know this one existed until talking with my friend. So if you have a kiddo who really thrives on repetition, and you also prefer to do things multiple times, and teaching your kids through that more classical approach of repeating things and mastery, this will probably be the one that suits you the best. But again, so many people I have seen have used this and have had success with this as well. There are a few things that I have concern, and I laid that guys out for you as I was flipping through it. Again, I've already started this one, and so I'll see how it goes. But I do value repetition and mastery, so this one kind of pulls at me a little bit to go ahead and try. And I also like that this has as many lessons as it does. I feel like you really get all of the reading instruction that you need to. And if you get these whenever the Well Trained Mind has like their 40% off sale, this is such a steal for such a really good program. And I hope that you guys were able to see how thorough it is, and definitely consider adding this to your kiddo's reading curriculum if you are looking for something for that. I actually also have another program, and I only have it because I went to a curriculum sale over the summer, and there was a mom there who was actually giving away a ton of curriculum, and she had almost the entire set of Learning to Read from Christian Light Education. So I have that also, but that's not something that I was planning on starting with my son. I wanted to start either one of these programs because both of them are recommended for starting with younger kiddos, because they're mostly based on teaching sounds. So this is where I wanted to start, and then I was hoping to maybe do the Learning to Read, or initially I was considering All About Reading, but then I got the Learning to Read for free. Considering starting that next year when my son, in the year that he turns 6. So he'll officially be in kindergarten next year. So if you guys are interested in seeing the Learning to Read, let me know. I would be happy to film that for you guys as well. And I may just go ahead and do that, just because to have that on my channel along with these just gives you guys more of an idea of what is available and what may or may not work for you and your kiddo. So again, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful and beneficial to you in some way. And if maybe not to you, maybe this is one that you can share with a friend who has younger kiddos than you, who are just now entering their reading stage. And so definitely share this video with them. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!